Aaron.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron?
You done messed up, Aaron!
Aaron is present, everyone. Welcome back for a little bit more SPTV, where remember, every day is a great day not to be in a cult. We are here today to talk about Tom Cruise, a gentleman who is still very much in a cult. And it seems that Tom Cruise done messed up this time. And we're going to talk about it a little bit. Back in 2005, when Tom Cruise was promoting War of the Worlds, he did an interview with 60 Minutes Australia. And Peter Overton confronted Tom Cruise about Scientology. He also confronted Tom Cruise about Nicole Kidman. That came later in the interview. We're going to take a look at that, and we're going to take a look at how he pressed him on Scientology. 18 years later, Tom Cruise has banned Peter Overton from attending the premiere of the new Mission Impossible movie in Australia. Here's why this is newsworthy to me. All too often, we ask the question, we hear the question, why don't journalists hold Tom Cruise accountable for his role in propping up an international multi-billion-dollar human trafficking cult that destroys families, covers up abuse of children and the elderly? Why does the media give Tom Cruise a pass? What we are discussing today is the answer to that question. Journalists who press Tom Cruise on Scientology have all access removed. Journalists' work, their jobs, their careers depend on access. Journalists care more about maintaining access to Tom Cruise than they do about pressing him on Scientology. Peter Overton is the prime example for what happens when you break those rules. So this is, I'm going to share with you a headline. This is this is like Daily Mail Australia. The ads on this website are absolutely insane. If I use my ad blocker, the page won't load. So I had no choice but to unblock these ads. Tom Cruise barred Peter Overton from the Mission Impossible red carpet after actor rowed with the 9 News presenter during tense 60 Minutes interview 18 years ago. Now, here's what's interesting. We're not going to go through this whole article because instead what I'm going to do is show you the clip from 18 years ago. This article focuses on the fact that Peter Overton was pressing Tom Cruise about Nicole Kidman. And that is true. He did. And Tom did respond very, very poorly to that line of questioning. But what this article actually leaves out is how hard Peter Overton pressed Tom Cruise on Scientology. This article might give you the impression that it was simply the questioning about Nicole Kidman that has Peter Overton barred from this film premiere. And I would say that is probably completely false. And that's why I want to show you the part of the interview where Peter Overton pressed Tom Cruise on Scientology like I have never seen a journalist press him before. And that is the reason Peter Overton is barred from this movie premiere, in my opinion. I'm going to share this in a way that will allow you guys to hear the audio. And I've got my little timestamps set up and queued up. So let's do this. Okay, I've got it queued up to the Scientology segment. Just confirm for me, guys, when I play this, if the audio is all good. And here we go.
I've done my fair share of celebrity interviews, and often you'll be asked to meet certain requirements, like watch the movie that the star is promoting. But this is something new. Tom Cruise's office has asked me to come to the Scientology Celebrity Center in Los Angeles to embark on a 4-hour crash course in Scientology and what it's all about. Why then was it a condition of me talking to you today that I had to spend quite an intense 4.5 hours in the Church of Scientology here in Los Angeles?
Oh, you didn't have to. You could have said no.
I felt I had to.
Okay. Well, that's how you felt. People are interested in Scientology, and I find that people wanted to know. They want to know about it. And it's also, there's people out there that want help and that need help.
Would you also agree, though, Tom, that there's a perception out there that it gets bad press, cult-like secrecy, controlling, and you almost have to defend it?
I don't feel it's ignorance breeds bigotry,
right?
Breeds racism. Okay. you have been there and you've seen it for yourself.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you feel discriminated against when people say this is what Scientology is, that you're a bunch on a lunatic fringe or whatever? Does that,
Peter,
Tom?
no one's ever said that to me.
But no, I mean that perception out there.
Yeah, but that's not the perception out there.
Mm.
That is absolutely, maybe from your perspective.
This isn't my personal opinion. I'm just saying, how do you feel about that when people?
Well, how would you feel?
Oh, if it was my faith, I'd feel
Well, not
really.
not even your own faith. I find that appalling when people who don't know what they're talking about say things like that. I think it's appalling. I think it's appalling that they're still burning synagogues in France. I think it's appalling how certain Muslims are being treated. I think it's absolutely appalling when we talk about freedom of speech and human rights. I think it's appalling that they electric shock people. I think it's appalling that they drug children. I think it's appalling that they say that there are no solutions for those things. I think it's appalling that people have to live a life of drug addiction. Okay, when I have personally helped people get off drugs.
It's obvious Tom Cruise is a passionate man.
Okay, good. That's the end of that clip. Now, by the way, you might go, so why does he have journalists tour the Church of Scientology before doing an interview? And the reason he does that is exactly like what you, there was something he said there that sort of gave it away. Because Peter said at one point, he goes, "Oh, these aren't my questions. This is the perception that people have. My question is a reflection of the people." And then he goes, "Well, you were there. You saw it. That's why he does it. He does it to take away the ammunition." Because again, he said the people, well, you're going to see this later. He goes, people don't want to know. You want to know. He goes down this route when he started asking about Nicole. People don't want to know. You want to know. You're the one asking the question. You're the one I'm talking to. Take responsibility for what you want to know. Now, that's why he has the person personally tour Scientology, so that he can hold the journalist personally accountable for whatever question about Scientology gets asked that Tom Cruise is going to take great offense for and be like, well, it'd be one thing if you're asking the question, but you had no idea what you're asking about, but you do know what you're asking about because you took the tour, you saw the videos, you got the introduction, and you're still asking this bigoted question. That's because you're a bigot. Don't blame other people. Take responsibility. Okay. We're going to fast forward to the part about Nicole. Now, here's something that I didn't know until after I did a video about this a year or two ago. Actually, probably about a year ago now. Peter Overton is very good friends with Nicole Kidman. Peter Overton's family, like I think it was Peter's sister, like their family like grew up with the Kidmans. So the question that Peter Overton, the questions he's going to be asking Tom about Nicole, they're not just innocent questions, because Peter knows the real answers. He knows the answers Tom isn't giving. And that's why he's pressing Tom. And Tom knows that Peter knows, which is why Tom responds the way that he does. So I'm going to fast forward this to the 9-minute 40-second mark. And here we go.
Like Nicole to remarry?
Yes. I want Nicole to be happy. That's what I want.
And do you have a relationship where you talk, it's a parenting relationship, and talk professionally about each other's
Why
work?
don't we listen, here's the thing, Peter. Yeah. You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
I suppose they're questions though, that people want to know.
Peter, you want to know. Take responsibility for what you want to know. Don't say what other people. This is a conversation that I'm having with you right now.
You're right.
Okay. So I'm just telling you right now. Okay. Just put your manners back in.
Do you think I was out of line?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I apologize for that.
Good.
Sincerely.
Good. I admire.
Okay, good. So now I'm going to fast forward to the very end of the interview where Tom Cruise acts like this was an excellent interview and there was nothing weird about what just went on. And the implication being there's no bad blood, right? And this sort of, I think, betrays the fact that Tom Cruise is always putting on a show, because you're going to notice that, well, I mean, the obvious contradiction between Tom pretending like He has no lingering resentment or anger about anything that happened in this interview. And here we are 17, 18 years later, he's banning the frickin' guy from attending the premiere of the movie. So here we go. Check this out.
Tom, thank you.
Peter, thanks, man.
What I'd call an interesting interview.
Thanks, pal. It was terrific.
Thank
you. Thank you.
It was terrific. God,
I think it was terrific.
even after you told me to learn some manners.
That's all right. You stepped out of line. I whacked you. We got on with it.
Good on you.
Thanks, buddy.
Wow. I don't want to read too much into it, but I do think I should point out the interesting choice of words that Tom Cruise used, considering that many of his best friends, subordinates, were around this time being locked up in a prison at Scientology's international base. He said, "You stepped out of line. I whacked you, and we got on with it." He said something like that. Man, oh man. But Peter Overton being a little mischievous. I don't know how to say that word, guys. I grew up in a cult. Being a little troublemaker, pushing the Nicole Kidman line of questioning. The video that I did about this a year ago was there's a lot of feedback on that video saying that they thought that Peter was being inappropriate in his line of questioning about Nicole. I do have to agree. It did feel a little awkward. Although it makes more sense when you know that Peter knows what was really going on behind the scenes and how horrible Tom had treated Nicole post-divorce and how they had alienated the kids from Nicole and all this kind of stuff. So there you go. All right. Let me just take a look at the super chats and I'll wrap this one. I'm going to be doing more videos later this evening. OMG, the gaslighting from Tom. Yeah. Indeed. Kathy Ann, does Scientology have courses or training for celebrities outside of short stories on how to deflect or handle when they're asked about Scientology by reporters? Hashtag SPTV. Kathy Ann, the answer is yes. Just because you are a Scientology celebrity does not mean you are authorized to discuss Scientology with the press. You have to be coached and drilled by the president's office at the Celebrity Center on exactly how to deal with media questions about Scientology, about David Miscavige, about L. Ron Hubbard, and only then are you let loose, unleashed upon the media landscape to promote the good works of Scientology. Thank you, Kathy Ann. John Sostovsky, looks like it is a screen test for risky business. Indeed. Nancy Ives, oh man, I really like that guy. Peter, Peter's an Australian legend, a homegrown hero down there in Aussie land. All right, everybody, that is all I have for now. Thank you for watching. Thank you to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe.